Hey guys, what's going on? DG the Man here, back here with another video, and today's video is going to be my review of Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and have to tell you guys now that Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 is probably my favorite game on the PlayStation 4. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and talk about what I liked about this game so much, and there is a lot of things that I did like about the game. So let's go ahead and start with the story. I'm not really interested in talking about the story too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say that the story is, a terrific Spider-Man story and a great Peter Parker story too. I think the story starts off with Spider-Man, or with Peter being Spider-Man for around 8 years now, so he's very experienced being Spider-Man, and the story treats it that way, and I really like that. Of course, there are villains and Spider-Man has to stop them, but again, I really don't want to get into the story because of spoilers, but what I can say is that it's very interesting to learn why they are doing what they are doing, their motivations and how they are connected. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, and it's extremely fun. First off, swinging is fantastic. Like, they have a fast travel option, but I barely used it during my first playthrough of the game. But there's another reason why I didn't use the fast travel option, but we'll get into that a little later. Of course, with this being Spider-Man, you have different web attacks, from pressing triangle to pull enemies close to you to punch them up in the air only to bring them back down to the ground using your web is so satisfying. With this game being made by one of my favorite developers, Insomniac, they include what they are known for, which are gadgets. For example, just to name off a few of them, like Spider-Man has a gadget that you can throw out that makes enemies float in the air, so you can do some air combos on them. Another one would be the web bomb, which you can throw and it kind of wraps up multiple enemies at a time, so you can go up and hit them a few times before they break free, so on and so forth. The combat is like the Arkham games, but you can't constantly press circle and expect to dodge everything. Dodge too early and you will end up getting hit, and Spider-Man does take a decent amount of damage in this game, which kind of adds a decent level of difficulty to the game. The stealth is done pretty well in this game. Sometimes it's a good idea to take out as many enemies as you can stealthily before going in, guns blazing, or rather webs blazing. Another really cool thing about the game are the suits and the suit powers. When you purchase a new suit, that suit comes with a new power. Like, one has the ability to shoot webs everywhere, one gives you extra damage, one shoots electricity out of it, but they have to recharge every time you use that special ability, so that way they're not, and they can take a pretty long time to recharge those abilities, so that way you're not overpowered. A really cool thing about the suits is that you can mix and match their power. So let's say you like the look of a suit, you really like the design of one of Spider-Man's suits, but you don't like the power that it comes with. Well, you can swap that power out with another power that you already have. I just really like that. Also, you get suit mods. These are things that are active all the time, like maybe reduce physical damage, reduce damage from bullets, maybe gain more experience points, and you use experience points to lock more stuff on your skill tree. And I just love the open world of this game. There's just so much to do, which is one of the reasons why I didn't really use the fast travel, was because there was always something to do, from crimes going on in the city to task master challenges, from chasing down drones to doing stealth challenges, combat challenges. There's backpacks scattered all around the town, and in those backpacks have different items from Spider-Man's past. There's also a bunch of side missions, like helping find missing people. My favorite thing to do, and the thing that really challenged me, were the villain bases. Those were just so much fun to do. And you want to do all the stuff that I mentioned because it gives you points that you can spend on your suits and suit mods. I just love this game so much. I loved it so much that I actually played through it twice, which is something I rarely do nowadays, where as soon as I beat a game, I play through it again. I didn't even do that with Kingdom Hearts 3, which is from my favorite video game franchise of all time. When I played through the game a second time, I played it on the ultimate difficulty, which is, a definite challenge. And also, just to talk about the ending of the game. Now, no spoilers, but it does do a good job of setting up for the next game. Now, I know I just said a lot of great things about the game, but there were a few things that I didn't like. The main thing, or rather the biggest thing that I hated about this game, was when the game would make you play as Mary Jane or as Miles. Now, don't get me wrong, I liked them both as characters just fine. I just hated playing as them. The main reason being is that it took you away from playing as Spider-Man, because you're sitting here playing as Spider-Man, swinging all around town, beating up on criminals, getting new suits, getting new abilities, and all this fantastic stuff. And then the game just kind of slows down to a halt when you're forced to play as Mary Jane or Miles, as they kind of just have to go through these little stealth parts of the game. I just really hated that. They could have just made those Miles and Mary Jane parts of the game just cutscenes, and the game would have been better for it. Everything else that I didn't like about the game is pretty nitpicky. Like when it comes to the bosses, they're fun, but most of them kind of play out the same way. I hated when Spider-Man would get stuck to walls during combat. Like, Spider-Man, get off the freaking wall. You know, the game did glitch on me a couple times, but nothing game breaking. Well, it did crash on me once, but the game does have a really good checkpoint system, so that wasn't a really big issue. I feel like the DLC is a little bit overpriced for Spider-Man, but the Spider-Man PS4 does offer some free updates like new suits, so that kind of makes up for that. So like I said before, you guys, Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 is my favorite PlayStation 4 game of all time. It does have a few hiccups here and there that I just went over, but overall Spider-Man is a fantastic game and a must play if you haven't already. I think it goes on sale all the time, so you should be able to find it for a decent price. So I'm going to have to give Spider-Man PlayStation 4 a 9.5 out of 10. So if you guys like this video, like the video, and if you like me, subscribe to me. And as always, this is DDG the Man, and I'll catch y'all next time.
The